You're so fucking cute.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, wow. What's this cat's name?
Snicker Fritz.
Oh yeah, we're live.
Are we? Oh.
We be live.
That's fun. Hi, creatures. What is this kitty cat's name? The
That's
Tabby is...
Omen.
Isn't that...
Oh no, that's Mama, so Tesla and Mama.
Oh.
And then Omen, Memer.
Perfect. Okay, so... That is fear talking, not truth. If the sacred rebel is not awakened, we will continue to live in a culture drenched in fear and distrust of nature. Those without awakened hearts don't yet understand what nature knows. She knows timing. She knows life and death. She knows the creative process. She just knows. And can be trusted to support us. Her own creations and becoming all that we can become. Does this mean that we become passive and just flow along like a limp leaf detached from the tree and blown about randomly by the breeze? No.
No.
No. Being free in the dark, hold empowers us to take up our cause. This means being free to act and affirm the intuitive feelings we have by following up on them. This is painting like someone who has lost their mind. Completely free and from the heart. It means writing even though you have no conscious idea of what you are writing. Even as the words are streaming forth upon the page before your rather curious eyes. And it means speaking about your work, never hiding it away. Allow it to breathe the fresh air and held in the gaze of another. Detach from the darkness that would say it is not. This is so cool. Detach from the darkness that would say it is not enough or must be the best thing ever. Whatever that means, in order to be worthy of a place in the world. Instead, just let it be what it is. It might fly, it might endure, and it might not. All of nature, including you, and your passions and dreams will be what is needed, when it is needed, and how it is needed, according to wisdom. We just have to trust in this, within ourselves, and within nature herself, through the flow of life. And participate!
The universe is participatory.
Yes! You are asked to go within and imagine diving deep off the edge of what you have known. There is so much more calling to you now. It is your time to leave.
I love that you went live.
And it was so cute.
Just let some time pass and you'll forget that we're live.
So the healing process is, I accept the offer of life so that I may truly live. Through unconditional love, I now invite and receive all assistance, intervention, protection, and inspiration so that I may leap into my next cycle of life. Held in the loving grace of wisdom, so be it.
So be it.
Ooh. Yes! And I love how the next card is receiving.
Yeah.
Like 27. Bro, that was your card, Ashley.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Look, 16.
Yes! K9 is 16 and 6 as well. Like that whole 3, 9, 6, 16, 12 has been like huge recently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This card is number 16.
Did you guys want me to read 16 too, or like would you not want to like, I don't know?
No, please.
Okay, cool.
It is why it takes you 12 years to get through the cards because
I
we all
love
have
it.
ADHD, but it's fine.
It's honestly so important because it's like, I feel like, I know, we are the cards.
Yeah, we
I
are.
also feel it's important for the audience to see what it's like for 3 ADHD people to interact seamlessly.
You guys all may think that, we're all wise and shit, but you're about to see some shit go down.
Alright.
We're all just figuring it out.
Yeah, man. Alright, so 16. Actually, what is 17?
Just share your stream.
What is already with you? Interesting. Okay, I'll take a deep breath first, actually.
This is really good. You guys realize that the three of us are embarking on some serious fucking journey right now, and the fact that you're allowing me to go live really means a lot.
Aww.
Yeah, I'm so excited to witness.
Yeah, honestly,
I just did come hang out. Spiritual chats happening here.
Yes. No, I think it's so cool because like I checked in with myself and I was like, honestly, you know, I think I've slowly my journey has been like slowly being more seen, and more seen. And like I was like, yeah, it's okay. Like it's nice because I'm looking away. So I think for me, it's like, this is perfect. This is an integration process. But it's nice too because I feel like part of me, like, I think I like a lot of us can be just dismissed from certain interactions, and a lot of us are a lot deeper. We're literally walking planets.
Yeah.
And we can dismiss each other because we're like, oh, I didn't remember. Which is fair. I get it. I did too. Right? But it's like, no, a lot of us are literally, like, not even planets, we're like little universes.
Yeah.
And there's different aspects of us that you will see. So sometimes I feel very, like, in the zone channeling, or I feel very communicative. I feel like the words flow. I feel like I can play with the energy just right. But then sometimes I'm just like,
and you think of
that's
motive
fair. And it's good to be seen in all of those aspects.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're all important. You know? And it's like, I just wish we would all be seen in all those different variations more.
Yes.
And I think humanity is slowly getting to that point. We just kind of have to encourage each other, and when we see that people doing it, we're like, oh,
cool.
I can do that too.
Yes, exactly.
So I love
it doesn't have to be in a box and structured all the time.
Yeah.
It can just be this, because this is actually how we function on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, it's
We're not,
human.
It's not scripted all the time.
No.
Sometimes it is a little bit. Sometimes it's just.
And we look at
Most of the
ourselves
time
like,
not.
as humans, like, we're human right now, so of course there's going to be faults, there's going to be errors and stuff, but we think about our existence outside of human form and, like, the millions of years of, like, progression. Like, yes, we're a universe, but every single, like, soul experience has built that universe.
Yeah.
We started as, like, a single
So
thing.
from the bottom, now we're here.
And now we are all talking, and we each have our own, literally, universe that is backing us. Ancestors, like, thousands of ancestors that have brought us to this place.
It's like when I just had
It's
this
crazy.
thought, like when the planets, like, they go into aspects
Get it, like,
at the same time.
I know, it's like fun to talk to people that understand.
Seriously, it's like when the planets, like, when they aspect each other at the same time, it's like, I just imagine the planets, like, hanging out. You know, like, I was going through my astrology for March for, like, Aries, and they were like, yeah, like, Jupiter and Neptune, and whatever. I'm like, yeah, they're just chatting, they're hanging out. They're, like, you know?
Yeah.
It's very similar. It's how these, like, universes,
that
like,
they're in conflict with each
We
other.
have a viewer in the room, everyone.
Oh, hello!
2 viewers now.
Beautiful. So I'm gonna read.
And one before me, I think.
I'm gonna read what you wants you.
I have to figure out how to
Number
chat
16.
with people at the same time.
Yeah, just click on your live. Like, just click on your live.
Actually, I'm gonna pour a drink first.
Right up here.
Oh, fucking sweet. And I just like
Yep.
have to like.
Then you just chat indirect right there. And then, like, when you set up your Streamlabs, like, I've been learning a little bit, but I don't have it set up. Yours is set up way more efficiently than mine.
That's too
It's
easy.
a shrimpish spot.
I'm just seeing if I can hear the music, because my live will get. It's like the music is helping us.
That's so true.
But the live will get deleted if we
Right.
can hear the music.
Okay. Is it okay if I read?
Yes. No, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So what you want wants you. Do you dare to believe that what you want is already wanting you? It's actually is also wanting you, but I use already.
Yeah.
The genuine desires of your heart are the sacred purpose of the soul, swathed in pleasure. Yet, if you have been shamed, judged for, made to feel guilt over, or denied your natural desires or pleasures in any way, you may have developed a very tricky and complicated relationship with the yearnings of your heart.
Gotta take that one in for a second.
Yeah. We often learn to distrust our own desires and come to believe that they are something to be overcome or avoided. This is on the way here. We were talking about there's shadow reasons and light reasons why we do everything, and I thought that meant there's a shadow reason. I need to integrate it so it's light.
Right.
Oh, I'm selfish. I need to be not selfish.
Right.
Right? That's
No,
what I
yeah.
thought shadow work was, and it's not.
No,
it's
no.
it's acknowledging that I am selfish.
Yeah.
It's acknowledging that I am self-centered. I am a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
I'm doing this for a selfish reason right now.
Yeah.
Yes. And then acknowledging that's in other people too, and that's where the trust comes and the distrust comes in other people. It's healthy because you're like, okay, if this isn't me, I want to give you that grace too. I want to give you that compassion. I want you to like.
Oh, hey!
I don't like this.
Hey!
Oh, just let them. They'll work it out.
It's like, just be friends, please.
No, she hates her son.
Jeez. But like that's that's fun
She
though.
doesn't
'Cause
hate him.
I was talking about shadow work though, and they just had a little dispute. Disputes happen because of miscommunication and because you're having a that's cat energy is so powerful, bro. I don't know, maybe I'm just being a little weirdo, but it's so weird. Anyway,
Synchronistic.
yeah, it's honestly because I like, yeah, okay, that's the things. Let's see. So, we often learn to distrust our own desires and come to believe that they are something to be overcome or avoided. We may even try to want second best, disbelieving that we are worthy of our first choice, of what we really genuinely want, and would fulfill us deeply. Perhaps we have conditioned ourselves to believe that getting what we want is for others, not us. This oracle comes with a healing message for you. First, trust is what you truly want. Oh, I was talking about fucking trust. That's hilarious. Not the Jesus Christ. Not the substitutions and make dues, but what would truly bring a
Don't
sense.
take one for the team.
Yeah, don't compromise. Be honest about what you want. Although, to be fair, if you can't be honest, it's super valid because you don't even know you're not being honest. So, don't shame on yourself for not being honest about it. But also, make that a priority when you are aware of it. Yes. Not the substitutions and make dues, but what would truly bring a sense of passionate, playful purpose and fulfillment in your life. You might not know anything more than, I want to sing. I want to write. I want to help animals. Or, I want to paint. Start with what you know and hold it in your heart as you do the healing process below. If you genuinely do not know what your heart wants, you will very much enjoy the process of exploring your desires by making gentle and persistent inquiries of yourself. And I think often, like, I've noticed that writing is one of the best ways. Like, I'd say, like, art too, sure, but writing, I think, is, like, if you're like, oh, I don't know I feel stuck, write. Even if it's a sentence.
Yeah, I text myself all the time.
Yeah, legit.
I have notes, like, in my notes on my pad, like...
Yeah, I have people that are like, oh, I don't even know
And it
what to
doesn't
write.
matter, just start.
Yeah, but I'm like, oh, I'm sitting on a carpet. You wrote something. I'm so proud of you.
Like, I just write, like, weird thoughts in my head, and they seem, like, really dramatic, and I just, like, write it out.
I could make a coffee table book over just my own trip journal of texting myself.
And something I've learned, too, is, like, with art, I've learned how to just doodle, right? And I took a while to get to a point where I just don't care about what I make on my page. You can do that with writing. So if you're just like, okay, what words are popping up in my head? I ate a biscuit yesterday. No, I didn't. I don't know why I'm saying that, but that's coming to my head, so I'm going to write it down. She's wearing a red hat. I like her earrings. There's this cat that's sniffing the drinks.
Yeah, at least
I've
you
been
bought me
dancing
these
so much. They're so nice.
Dude, we just got these at the thrift store for $2.
What? Dude, they're so good.
Yeah, like I like the whole thing. I was like, these ones, they're magical. Cause like anything we catch in the background.
Yeah, no, actually, this is really weird because there was a person on a video that had the similar earrings, and they were like, I was like, oh, that's a weird energy thing they do because they move around. Oh, they're so cool. Wow, the color is beautiful.
Yeah, right.
So interesting.
I'm gonna sit. I'll pee after.
You should go now, though.
Okay.
If you want, you follow your heart. I'm gonna drink the sculptures.
Get it, girl?
Yeah.
I wrote a new poem recently, but it's like still just like in my head. It's not done.
Can I
But
hear it?
still, you know me, my process. Of course you can.
I want to hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, listen.
Listen, Linda.
Okay. It's just like my brain getting on paper. Late night chats, sitting at the bar, listening to all the rants. The message, the perspective. You're ignorant to to it, but your words are effective. Caught in a trap of loving discouraged bodies. People caught in shame thinking they're naughty. Beating themselves up till they can't feel a thing. Entering the void till their ears start to ring. They can't hear the words, but you say it. It hits their subconscious. Seeing them miss your words makes you nauseous. You wish you could make them understand your thoughts. Thinking the words spoken were intended to be fought. Inspiration led through deep words, even though most of them go unheard. People are stubborn and cling to their experience, making some conversations kind of mysterious. Take a minute to gain your composure. Reword your sentence to sound less like a hoser. Dig deep in the heart and trust its words. Speak them slowly so it can be heard. Be gentle, be soft, and speak from your heart. If you stay focused, the motion will start. People around you will feel accepted, holding hands and causing fear to be intercepted. Redirected to a place where it's intended. As you dig deep, dark places get mended. You heal yourself as you acknowledge your shadow. And then something about, I don't know what else.
You wrote this?
Yeah, this is something I came up with the other night. Like, I was just thinking back, and I was like, I need to get this out.
Go,
beautiful.
Go read the 2 lines that keep your composure and the one after that.
Okay, so it was like,
You just like read the whole thing again?
yeah, I can. Okay, so late night chat, sitting at the bar, listening to all the rants. The message, the perspective. You're ignorant to it, but your words are effective. Caught in a trap of loving discouraged bodies. People caught in shame, thinking they're naughty. Beating themselves up till they can't feel a thing. Entering the void till their ears start to ring. They can't hear the words you say, but it hits their subconscious. Seeing them miss your words makes you feel nauseous. You wish they could understand your thoughts, thinking your words spoken were intended to be fought. Inspiration led through deep words, even though most of them go unheard. People are stubborn and cling to their experience, making some conversations kind of mysterious. Take a minute to gain your composure. Reword your sentence to sound less like a hoser. Dig deep in your heart and trust its words. Speak them slowly so you can be heard. Be gentle, be soft, and speak from your heart. If you stay focused, emotion will start. People around you will start to feel accepted, holding hands and causing fear to be intercepted. Redirected to the places intended. As you dig deep, dark places get mended. You heal yourself as you acknowledge your shadow. The rest is to be continued. I don't know. Whatever else. I'm going to try to rhyme it. I couldn't. That was the other day. This was like, fuck, I gotta do that one. And then this one was like a little bit of like a rap, but it's not really that great. But I'm still gonna share it with you guys because there's like could be potential people listening to this, and it's fun.
I do want to say that, like, thank you for sharing. Like, so far, like, I want to make comments on the first one. I really appreciated it. Like, I feel like I hit different parts. I was like, yeah. Not only was it themes that were happening recently, but it's also like my own things I wish I could convey, and maybe I just haven't given it space to convey that yet. So it's nice that you've done that and you created that piece because I feel like it conveys. It hits a lot of like what humanity is going through right now, or at least even just me.
Yeah, my What's the Chase one is like my main one. Like I wrote a lot of poems, like quite a few. What's the Chase is like this is like my cream of the crop. I'll read you guys.
Yeah, I'd love to hear.
Because this is like the one. Like, this is the one that I like. This is the one. This is the one that's gonna like change the world.
Yeah, sick. Lay it on us. Lay it on us.
Do you want a beat?
I love you. You want a beat? Okay, what is the voice that will soothe you, that will move you? Are you ready for it? Or are you waiting, debating, chasing another celebration? You hear it. You feel it. You want it to be the fuel to motivate you. Choose it. Consume it. Let it be you. Are you ready? Learn from the chase. Don't let it be the mace that sends you to the place. The place we don't acknowledge, but you got the knowledge. Know better, feel the conviction, and let it lead you. Don't let the friction deter you. Feel it, integrate it, let it obliterate you, send you, experience. I know it may feel fierce, but it's meant for you. You choose. Use it or let it consume you. Play the victim. The scars of our past leads to a place we aren't meant to last. Temptation. Do we take it? It's easy in the crowd when all I gotta do is fake it. Focus. What are you here for? Do we live this life forever and die together? Or do we create a place where our sounds run wild? We are free. The lessons are never mild. We're perseverers. We do not live in fear. We take our lessons as a cross as we trudge through the ditches. Persevere. I said do not live in fear. It is comfy. It's expected. But we're better than that. We came from nothing. Wear our honor as a tat. We're here now, ready, waiting, investigating, exploring. Choose it or learn. Learn and never stop. You can act tough and make it to the top, but what does it get you? Are you enough? Because in the end, it isn't about being tough. Who did you love? Where's your path? Because in the end, after all the math and the calculations, was I enough? Fuck that stuff. You are you and you tried your best. Wear that as a vest. Prove it, use it, be your own light and shine bright. And stay true to your fight. You know your story, share your glory, and let it build others. Create a better world. It's up to you. Stay where you're at or know you're better than that.
What the fuck?
That was like one of my favorite. Like I like did that and I was like, who the fuck wrote this? I feel like I get channeled and it's just like
Well, I love it
Don't
because
discount a challenge. That's not you. That is you.
that literally, and it's fun because I remember, like, I like the way you read it. Like, I feel like this, because last time I heard it, now there's just like there's this different energy now to how you.
I'm like gaining the confidence of the words. Like before I read it, I was like, hey, this is kind of like what I wrote. But now it's like
kind of like this little thing that I did.
yeah.
You're giving it space now. You're giving yourself space. You're giving your words space. You're claiming that space, and I think that is powerful. In that poem, like I feel like people are able to like really fill into it because it's like even as I was whoa, like each word has its own space because the space is like your own emotion, your own like why you wrote those words in the first place.
Was what I was dealing with, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you read it, you're able to fill those spaces up with you. And it was so nice to hear that and to feel that and to feel you. And I really appreciate you sharing those.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. You're an amazing,
Hey.
you're an amazing creator. And I'm very excited for you to like to do your podcast and to talk to
Yeah.
other people because you're going to fill those spaces and you're going to exchange other people sharing their spaces.
Mm-hmm. Ashley at down.
Yeah.
Shameless.
We're here. Ashley done, yo.
Actually, like, honestly, like, I don't know, I really love that. I feel like we don't write enough, and I've also noticed when people post online, or I post online, I'm like, oh, like, are we gonna read that? And it's like, well, why not? Like, why are we gonna rush? Where are we trying to go? Why are we in a destination, you know? And it's like, for example,
Where are
spending
we
time...
trying to go? Why are we in a destination, you know?
Like, it's really the, like, when I think about the people that I'm around, it's like, why am I not trying to spend more time with them? Because, I'm gonna die with me. I'm
like,
here
we'll
all
be
the
together
time.
forever, bro.
Yeah, so why am I being so, like, hoardy with my energy when it's like I'm always going to be here, and if I don't feel like home when I'm around you, well, then I'll go find home somewhere else where I can be myself.
When I
And I'll come back.
had the realization, like when I had my spontaneous and albeit painful fucking Kundalini experience, and I met myself, realizing that we were all one was also very lonely. I'm like, oh, now I know why we split ourselves into a million fucking pieces because we need to be loved and love and be loved. I'm like, it's
We need to learn how to love the pieces of ourselves that we just don't.
Yeah, it's a blissful and lonely at the same time, being one.
Here's a poem on love I wrote.
Can I try something for this?
Yes, please do.
Cool. Thank you.
Suck on whatever you'd like. This one's called Love. I just wrote it. Love. I wrote
love
this
to
one.
hear
I wrote
it.
this one in December.
Okay.
Okay. Love is messy. Love is wild. Love is patient, never neatly filed. Love's patient, never mild. Love is something outside understanding. And when you fall, it's hard to find your landing. Fear and anxiety overshadow your worth, causing it to be dimmed by the fog of the earth. It's gentle breeze that controls your thoughts, instantly leaves your stomach in knots. Your heart dives in, unable to stop. You chase it till you're out of breath and at the top. You realize and take a glance from your place soaring high, realizing all you knew about love was a lie. It's not hard, and it's far from controlling. It stands by you, constantly watching you growing. Acknowledge this feeling each time it appears. Slowly time will help you face your fears. It holds you tight when you're all alone and makes its presence known in every bone. You know it's real by the way it speaks to you, holding your hand and gently seeing you. Thick and thin, seeing you through thick and thin, helping you out, making every day a win, holding your hand and seeing you, seeing you, seeing you. Real life versus reality. Real life is in front of me, when reality is what I really see. It is bold, it's brave, like a boat in a storm. It's in the everyday things that can take any form. In the chill breeze on a hot day to having a friend who's offered to pay. But it's also gentle, calm, and forgiving like a child who is fully living, using imagination to make realities tangle, making you check love from a different angle. absorbing the love as it comes your way, and saying the things you really need to say. Fear and love are opposite, but somehow meld together, making things toxic. Connection and faith will hold us together and bond through love, as light as a feather. Trust and patience will guard our way, because love always wins at the end of the day. There you go. That's my brain.
That's my brain. No big deal.
I seem like super surface level to a lot of people in like sporadic and ADHD, but like when you actually sit in my energy, it's like
You think you're surface level?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Like so many people are like, you know what the fuck you're
surface
saying?
level is pumpkin spice lattes and Uggs.
Thanks for the
No
notice, yeah, because like that is
No.
true. Like I'm not that at all.
You're not surface level.
I'm like horse boots and fucking grandma sweaters.
But you're like your kid. Not to like make it astrology, but
I do.
like Pisces
Also,
and
I do.
this is perfect. No, but really, like Pisces are just so like they kind of remind me of Scorpios in the sense they're very like cave, but for Pisces they're very ocean.
Yeah.
So it's like very open, but also very deep.
yeah.
Scorpios are like, I'm gonna go in the ground. I'm gonna go
They're
in the
like, I
cave.
know everything, but I'm not going to tell you that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry, Scorpios.
Yeah, I mean, I love Scorpios so much, but like I also it's a
It's
weird
very
relationship.
true. No, I think every
But-
Scorpio that we would know in our lives would agree with this.
Yeah, exactly. And like Pisces, though, there's this like you guard. I mean, think about it. The ocean is not to be fucked with. You don't fuck with the ocean. Okay, some people try, and like I mean, there's karmic shit to that. But at the same time, there was so much depth through the ocean.
The depths of the ocean
Is
gives me the
insane.
same feeling of astonishment and like reverential fear as looking into space does.
Yeah.
Like even though it's only on Earth, I'm like, whoo.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and like something I thought about is like how like this the air is, for me is like a psychic ocean because I see static everywhere. So I imagine the static that I see to be like a psychic ocean. So it's like we all have these unseen version of our senses. It's like the same thing. So it's like because like there's physicals of everything. But there's also unseen versions of everything. Right? The same way that thought, like manifestation comes from thought, it's the same thing.
Well, what we can see and hear is like our human abilities are only this frequencies of all these things.
Yeah.
Think about outside those frequencies. There could be aliens standing right here.
Yeah, no,
We just can't
100%.
fucking see them.
We
They
could
have-
see
Yeah,
everything
they go
that's
right up.
existing
Seriously?
around us.
Be fucked to me.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like there's so many different universes, like let alone like, so as I go make my comic book and my own self and my own little like writings and stuff, I imagine my characters coming out and being around in my aura and my
Yeah,
field,
so this helps.
let alone
interpret
you guys and
things.
your own
they
field
got
as
into
well.
this book.
Oh jeez. Is this a secret language?
These are
of astrology?
astro dice.
Oh.
Hey,
No, I
everyone,
love
Secret
this.
Language of Astrology is what we're doing. We're reading Astro Dice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Selena's into
So we've
this.
got
Teach you
the
guys.
houses. So
Okay.
there's 12-sided die. You've got the houses, the planets, and the zodiac. And the planets are not.
Oh my god,
This
wow.
is so cool.
Also adds the sun, the moon, and the north node and the south node.
Okay, cool.
So then you
so
roll
what do
them.
you roll, okay?
Whoa.
And then, so this is, then you go to your third house. So this is where the book comes in
Yeah.
handy.
You can take it.
Then we go to, wait, let's roll.
Do it for
let's roll
intention. Let's be
purposely.
intentional, yeah.
Yeah.
Do it for me.
Yeah, okay. Fourth house.
Okay,
So
we're
then-
doing dice rolls, everyone. This is exciting.
So the way that
I love learning new tools.
Personally, the way that I personally read them is your fourth house will give you a bunch of different areas, and then the planet will give you clarity on that,
Okay.
and then the zodiac is the energy you want to bring to
To
it.
that. Okay, cool. I love it. This is so fun. I need to get a set of these.
It's
I already love
very
it.
Interesting.
I alely love it.
I've never been.
The foundation
I've never
of our
been.
social
I've never been.
values.
I like you drinking. It's fun.
Doesn't have to opt in. Okay, sorry.
I can tell.
The second angular house focuses on the very basis of our lives. With Cancer ruled by the moon as its natural sign, the fourth house shows us our relationships with our parents,
I know.
especially the mother who bore us.
Who?
In this house, we also see
I've
the
heard it was
kind of
on.
home we grew up in.
She knocked it pretty good.
No, I
You miss this. I'm pretty sure you miss this
I
one.
thought, but I was on that one. Was that the same?
Oh,
let's reroll.
Yeah,
Reroll.
Okay.
Sorry,
It was meant to be.
Actually, I was feeling weird about it being the 4th house. I didn't feel like that was right.
Interesting.
But I maybe would have felt it was right. I don't know. Who knows?
So it's like sometimes the first things that show up aren't always.
You should be rolling.
Okay.
Yeah, just like I like to do this because it feels fucking good personally. But
Okay.
Pleasure.
Knock the dice. I come up. Hello.
Hello,
Hello, dice.
Hello,
Hey, big money, no ways. Shit. Oh, knocked her out. Oh.
Aquarius. Oh, that was the first one you guys rolled. When you first put it
Yeah.
down, I wrote it down. So I know.
That's a dorkish thing. 7th house.
relationships.
Oh!
Interesting.
Oh, dang.
Relating to others in the world, the 3rd angular house, naturally occupied by Venus ruled Libra, describes how we handle close connections with other people in the world around us. From studying this house, we can learn how to be comfortable with others and make them feel the same with us. We can also we can also learn how to move into unfamiliar territory, embracing new people and experiences in our lives. In developing better understanding of what is outside us, we learn more about ourselves. By working confidently on relationships, however they turn out, we can command respect and enjoy success. Fruitful intimacy encourages long-term commitments. So it is in the 7th house that we discover the type of partner that suits us best, and how to build a smooth and resilient togetherness that can withstand difficulty and misunderstanding. In business, this house describes the combining of different talents and resources, and the signing of contracts. I feel like it has a lot to do with business, though. The 7th house can also highlight areas where we have difficulties, doubts, and fears that can put up defensive barriers between ourselves and others. Conversely, this house can indicate whether we are inclined to avoid challenge in relationships, following the path of ease and familiarity, which can also be the path of tedium and of taking others for granted. The 7th house, cusp or descendant, indicates how we respond to the outside world. Planets placed at or close to the cusp act as lenses to modulate how we experience the world. So, relationships.
Cool. I love it.
And then this will give you clarity.
Just to interrupt, I feel like I should share the stream, but I don't have the Wi-Fi here.
Oh, just open it. Now everything world's kind of on my
Well, you can just put it in if you want.
No, it's fine.
Okay. I mean, I just had this like idea like I should share it, but I was like, oh, I don't know the thing. So which one is it? I know the thing. I got a new screen and the back isn't moving properly.
There you go.
Thanks, bud.
You're welcome, bud. Bud. I like when you're like, hey friends, these friends. Ooh. Oh my god, this is awesome. Oh. This is really awesome. So it's Pluto.
Oh,
That brings clarity on the aspect of relationships.
Yep.
So it's
Pluto! It's Pluto. That's cool. Transformative.
Yeah,
It's cool,
there you
I
go. It's transformative. The
Energy,
energy of
yeah.
death and rebirth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's fun.
There you
Relationships,
go.
death, and rebirth.
It's like Lilith,
Michael.
but different.
Sorry,
I
it's live
know.
stream, but we're talking about it.
Yeah.
If you're here, homie.
Okay, I'm glad that you
Here.
said that because I was kind of hoping that you would.
Oh, I love this.
So then, obviously, you know.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move to the energy that you want to bring to
Aquarius, which is fun because I don't really know much about Aquarius.
Well, it's like a universal perspective, a
Yeah.
very wide.
I like a void
perspective.
Aquarius. Which
I don't even have any in my life. Like,
I have a couple.
I don't even know who my Aquariuses are. Sorry, homies.
And also,
I like to be ignorant of things I don't like.
You know, that's fair though.
Or they
It's
don't
like-
know, or like are uncomfortable or unfamiliar. It's like not that I don't like my Aquarius' friends. Like I never want them to feel that way. But just say I don't know
That
you.
goes with what I was reading. It's like if you fear something, like you should investigate it first. Oh, so I'm gonna say it. It's time. Okay.
Where we are with Aquarius, teach me all the things. The 11th zodiac, which is pretty in
What's before Pisces?
the aspiration.
Aquarius, obviously.
The aspiration is love.
Oh,
My
it
favorite
is.
phrase I know.
For
So
Yeah.
I would say it's a lot to do with intuition, but it's like the way that I see Aquarius in general is like they're very inclusive, like willing to take in as many perspectives as possible to find the
Right.
solution that works best for everybody, or as many people as possible. Right?
Yeah.
Let's see what pops out. Seeks to refresh humanity with eternal wisdom poured down and distributed equally to all. So I feel like this. I mean, even though it's doesn't have anything to do with like Libra with the scales, I do feel like it's about balancing. I'm getting a balancing feeling from it.
Well, that's it. It's gonna be all about boundaries and like figuring it out together and like what works and knowing that we can't be all for each other all the time, but just knowing that like what we do bring is what we need from each other. And that's it.
Yeah. Aquarians are often comfortable in occupations like humanitarian, social service, scientific inquiry, political reform. So it definitely has a little bit to do with structure, but I would say structure, especially with your really, yeah, exactly like you just said, knowing your boundaries and.
I love it. Cool. Skylar, you roll.
Oh,
Are you ready, Skylar?
me roll.
I loved what it had to say to me.
Change and revolution, so doing things differently this time.
Yeah.
Get back in
For the
there.
common good. Mm-hmm. 12th house.
12 house
Did that feel like it resonated, or do you want to re-roll? 'Cause
No.
I landed on here.
It does, because actually I was listening to astrology yesterday for like Aries in March and April, and 12th house was actually super huge. So I actually was like, oh, 12.
Okay, I trust your intuition, so I don't mind finding the pages, but
Oh.
I'm going to give it to you.
Okay,
So it's
perfect.
there, you can scan.
Mm-hmm.
Scan and assess.
Can I read it?
Yeah, you can read whatever you like. Please do.
Cool. This is really interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. My girlfriend Danica gave me this book.
Wow.
Black Swan Spirit Co. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. So, the 12th house is your private inner life. How we serve ourselves. The kid in 12th house is naturally occupied by Pisces. Dude, Pisces has been so huge! Oh.
We out here.
Yeah, legit. So, ruled by Jupiter. Okay, this is huge because, like,
Okay, and this is Mercury, so it's largely to do with communication.
wow, isn't Mercury the house Taurus? No, Taurus.
Yeah, no, that's Mercury.
Dude, okay, my Aries is Mercury. That's funny. Or yeah. So ruled by Jupiter and Neptune, and these two, Jupiter and Neptune, are like hanging out in March. So really funny. So they're occupied by Pisces, ruled by Jupiter and Neptune, and represents experiences that require inner privacy. The house points towards feelings, knowledge, and activities that we are more comfortable handling alone, or which, for better or worse, we do not want others to know about. At worst, the 12th house can show us the extent to which we are at risk of self-undoing, the many ways, including unlawful ones, in which we may act against our own interests. This house may indicate an illness that we have to face alone. At the other extreme, that reminded me of when you mentioned, like, realizing we're all one and how lonely it can be. Like, that came up as I said.
Yeah.
At the other extreme, it may reveal our inclination to perform acts of kindness, selflessness, and sacrifice. This urge may arise from caring for another and enhanced through practices such as meditation. A strong birth chart focused on the 12th house may indicate that we will have some connection with facilities and institutions directly linked to these personal experiences and practices. I can feel myself slurring.
Yes, queen.
Fuck. Whether positive or not, such as prisons, hospitals, meditation, retreats, and monasteries. Perhaps we will work with the residents of such places, or be residents ourselves. Planets strongly placed in the 12th house can indicate unstoppable self-reliance, because we choose to monitor this aspect of our personality from the inside without reference to others. It can become counterproductive and self-destructive. If we have a strong focus on the 12th house, the most difficult thing for us to accept is also the single most generous thing that we can do to help ourselves. Allowing others into our inner world.
Okay, what's this resonating with? If you care to share.
No, I would love to. So, I love that a lot because especially recently, even when I was talking about my comic book and stuff, because for me, my comic book is me, right? So it's like those inner realms, those characters that are just aspects of my personality, but also maybe aspects of the universe. But when it comes from like helping ourselves, allowing others into our inner world, it's like, I think a lot of us build a lot of walls around it, which I think is important because we're so used to people just tromping those and not caring what those inner worlds are.
Nobody really knows me.
Yeah, exactly. But it's nice because you will meet people that do either resonate or are a part of those inner worlds without even realizing it.
Yeah.
And the thing is like sometimes those people don't feel comfortable, like they're not going to share their inner world until you share yours, or vice versa. So it's interesting in the tangle that we experience as we, like for me, I would like to think that I'm an open person. So even though I'm like trying to trust people, I'm still gonna be trusting. Like here is me, because I would love if I'm giving you myself, know the gift that you are receiving.
Yeah.
Know it, because you'd be like, oh, I don't really care. Well, I want you to know I'm paying attention to that, because I'm not just, you may think I'm just willy-nilly and giving this myself away to you, but I'm not.
No.
I'm giving you a bit of myself to see if we can trust each other.
Yeah, like I'm testing a little bit.
Exactly.
See if I'm safe.
How do you handle it? Yeah,
Yes,
am I safe?
exactly.
Am I safe to expose what I have to show the world?
Yes. And it's okay to either be safe or not to be safe, but at the same time, it's like interesting because some of us will think that, oh, I'm just testing you, but no, I'm also testing you too. And it's a tango, and I think all of us just kind of want to be witnessed. The same way, if you have artwork in your home, all of it wants to be witnessed. I remember being in my old apartment, and I had this realization, I was stoned as fuck, and I just remember being like, I haven't looked at my walls in 3 months. I just didn't. I dissociated like a motherfucker. My room was messy. I just went into my computer. I did not look at my surroundings. And I just zoomed into whatever. And it's interesting because when you start to take in everything in, it just changes things. And you're reminded about the energy that's around you. You're not running away from it.
Yeah. I used to, like, when in my old place, is it okay if I interject?
No, that was a...
Okay, in my old place, I had, like, I had a room that was my own when my partner and I moved in together. I was like, I need my own room. So this was basically my room. And when Ashley first came over, she was like, "Is it okay if I come in here?" Like, she was very respectful, which wasn't actually very typical. I would just leave my door open, like especially when we had house parties, like, please come in. Yeah. But it was more about external validation. Like, I wanted people to see my things and be like, "Tell me that I'm doing good."
Yeah,
like,
you were doing good. That was smart.
And I was like, but so then I would do that, and then when I overcame this need for external validation, basically what happened is I got frustrated with all my stuff, and so I was like, okay, well then I don't need the external validation, so I don't need all this stuff. Right. So then I went to go through all of my things to get rid of them, and then I was like, no, wait, this means a lot to me. Like, I don't care if anybody looks at it. This means a lot to me. This means a lot to me. This means a lot to me. So then I went from feeling like I needed external validation to wanting to shut the door and be like, nobody gets to fucking look at my shit. Nobody gets to look at anything. And then everything took on like a greater importance of, like, you know, I mean, you know what it feels like to be attached to your...
It's like being more intentional with the things around you.
Yeah, exactly. Being a lot
like
more
that.
intentional. And then it was
Well, literally
like,
getting rid of things, I finally was like, does this bring me joy? No. And like, I got rid of so much fucking shit. And everyone's like,
Same.
you're going through like a weird manic, like, are you sure you want to get rid of all that? And I'm like, dude, I don't need to carry this forth. Like, this is like,
you know,
I celebrated this, I had this season, it made me feel very safe. But I don't need to have these things around me anymore. Like, they were what I needed, like, to cover this home, which this home was a burden to me. This home is what caused me all of most of my fucking shit, my shame, my grief, like all my guilt was mostly surrounded around this house. So as soon as that's lifted, I don't need any of this shit anymore. Like that was like the veil that like protected me from actually seeing the house. Okay. Now it's like I'm gonna have a van that's gonna be fucking amazing. I just literally need to have like me and a couple of my things, like my stuffies and shit. Like would be happy. Like I don't really care. Like
it's
my
like
tools.
kind of like focusing in your inner realm first, because I think eventually you will feel too small. You will be too big for it. But for now, I feel like because there's so many energies in the house, it's all over the place.
I need my own space.
Exactly, and like I feel like now because
We've been
both of
sharing
us
this
are.
whole time.
Yeah, and I think both of us are going through this thing where it's like we're all kind of going into our inner worlds now. We're leaving, we're leaving this behind. Yeah. Exactly, and then it's like leaving these behind. And it's like kind of going in.
Yep.
And having less. You don't need all these things.
Yeah.
Or like even if it's like physical
and
or
and
mental.
it means less interactions too, because you're trying to hone in on what you're meant to be focusing on.
Exactly. Because once you focus inward, you can focus outward.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's also why it's like so nice for me because like recently, like I mean actually
It's
this
literally
last
what
year.
I was talking about with the auric field. Like slow it down, bring it in, select, and then expand.
Yeah, because for me, it's like I feel like it was meant to be like when at Emma's, I've just been there and like I've been very. I mean, I went out sometimes, but for months I often don't leave the house. Exactly, and I love. It's been such a transformational.
Well, whoever has an opportunity to do that.
Legit.
In their life.
Like, what kind of privilege?
In your human form, who has been locked themselves in a room for months.
Literally, like, and all these different things, like, even the thought process, oh, I should be doing something. That itself is integration. That itself is processing.
Yes, no, and you said that, like, you knew you needed to have this time alone, and you didn't really know why.
Yeah.
This is exactly it.
It's exactly it, and I feel like as time, like, I mean, I've been able to connect with the animals and the earth and the people and my own self. And we talked about doing something to realize it wasn't for us. I was trying to be a full-time artist and realizing that's not what I wanted. I am an artist regardless, but regardless.
Yeah.
But trying to make income of it, trying to be like, hey, you entity, you make me money.
Yeah.
It's not, and even when I wanted to, like, no, okay, I understand now that I'm not trying to make money from you, but I just want to create. There was still this like gnawing,
like
you're gonna sell this, right? Is
somebody gonna love it? Is somebody gonna want it? Is somebody gonna think something?
Yeah, it's like, hey, you need to like your phone bill is really high. You're not eating well. You know, Spirit's saying you should really look after your diet. You know, I'm like, I can't afford it. Like, I don't know what to do. And I'm terrified. Like, I'm supposed to look after myself, but I don't know how. There's all these different things that are happening. It's like, well, you know, and it's interesting because dealing with those, oh no, I've let down myself. Well, when's the last time you actually sat with yourself when you let yourself down?
Can I try yours?
Yeah, please, blue raspberry.
When was the last time you sat yourself when you let yourself down?
Yeah. Like when
dealing with the shame circle.
Yeah, exactly, and like. That's why when I heard the perspective that March is going to be about shame and guilt, it hit. And I was like, oh fuck, I don't want to keep repeating this just because like so many YouTubers said it, but I'm starting to see in everybody and everything in myself. And I was like, dude, like what happens when we give that shame and guilt love and attention, at least to witness it, at least to be like, hello, you know what? I see you for how I can. Something I realized with my inner child and myself is being like, hey, I actually don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know. I don't know if I can be there for you, but I'd like to try.
Yeah.
And you know, what I like about that is I feel like, for me, if I had like a parental guidance that had said that to me, I would have been way fucking gentler growing up. I would have been like, you don't know what you're doing? That's so good to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so fucking much.
I know that I don't know.
Exactly.
It's comforting.
Yes, because it's like, okay, I can be gentler on you because I assumed all of the adults in my life knew what they were doing.
Yes.
They pretended like they did, and I don't blame
tried.
them for that.
They tried to pretend that they knew what they were doing.
Exactly, they tried. And but for me,
we tried to pretend that we know what we're doing.
I had believed it for a while. And it wasn't until I was like 2021 where I started to see the facade fall away. And that's when I was like, it hurt because I had to push a lot of my family away, and they were like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't even do that much to warrant this. It's like, dude, like, I'm sorry, but I'm realizing the cognitive dissonance, and I can't, like, I need to do healing first for me to be able to, like, hold space for you.
Yeah.
And where you
for
are.
your own parents, your own adults, yep.
And vice versa. Like, maybe by that time, you've done your own growth.
Yeah.
And it's not even that big of a deal technically, but for me right now, like, I can't act.
Like, realizing at 16 that I was more mature than both of my fathers.
It's
like,
insane.
What? I mean, I'm thinking that you're supposed to be the positive influence on me, but I'm learning at a very young age that it's likely that I'm going to be the one to support the relationship, and I'm the one that's going to be a positive influence on you. Like, that's heavy.
It's huge.
And we're not supposed to have to do that.
No, because when you're growing up, like, the concept is like, when you're creating, you're nurturing it, you're sitting on the egg, you know, you're giving it warmth. You're being, hey, I should sit on this egg and not leave it in the cold. And we don't want to be left in the cold. We want to be sat on. And I don't mean that weirdly. Just we do. We want to be warm. And so much of humanity, we don't receive that. We don't know how. We have no idea. We weren't taught.
And then at the same time, we can't blame them. Because
exactly.
Right?
We weren't
we're
taught.
All
we
in
have
the
no
same
idea.
boat.
Exactly. And we're all one, right? So we have this concept of, like, it's really helped my healing with, like, my family, because it's like, you had no idea what the fuck you were doing.
Yeah.
I thought you did. You pretended like you did, or I assumed. Yeah. But as kids, like, it's this concept of, like, oh, like, you've been here longer. When you start to get to those ages. Like, my mom had
you think that because your parents are 40, 50 years old that they are
Yeah.
just wiser because they have that number and those wrinkles?
No.
And like,
No, because you start to realize 5 years ain't shit. 10 years ain't shit. 50, because there's all these different pockets of experiences and people and ingredients that you experience. My mom had me when she was 21. I turned 24 this month. I would have been 3.5, 4 years.
3-year-old right now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and it's like, whoa.
It
I
gives
can
you-
go to
it gives
festivals
you
because
perspective,
she had me so young.
But it also gives you compassion for, like, oh god, like, it sucks knowing that you can't rely on those humans that you thought you could.
It
But
does.
at the same time, it's like I have compassion for you. It hurts that I can't get this here, but I have compassion for whatever your journey is. And
Well, it's nice too, because for me, I feel like as a kid, like, I was very angry, but, like, I didn't realize I was. If anything, I was just very sad. I was just so disappointed, and, like, I thought it was me. I was always told it was me. I had a very hard time reaching out to people.
Were you scapegoated on?
Yes, and it was very hard for me to say my needs, because no matter what, I was talking back. Or I was, like, I just couldn't say my needs because they were disregarded.
Yeah.
They were argued.
Right.
And
so it wasn't safe to disagree.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I still would,
but
that's why we never got along, because there was this, like, very fiery, like, I think my mom was, like, a Leo Virgo. So distant and fiery.
Yeah.
And then I'm just, like, this Pisces Aries, and I'm like
trying to impose balance rather than find it.
Yeah, you know, and so it's been interesting because I'm learning, like, oh, like, I put myself in their shoes, being like, oh, like, I mean, for all one, like, what is that perspective like? And it's come to a point where I hold so much compassion for that, as much as I can. I feel like it'll be, like, from this period on forward, it'll be different.
Let go.
But exactly, or at least have the, like, I think the last couple of
or
years,
enough to detach so it doesn't affect
as much. And it's going to continue, because once we start to realize that, like, we all have our own perspectives, and we have. When I talk about my art, I tell people to look at certain parts of the painting. Why I do that is because the different parts of the painting is context. Once you start to look at more and more and more of the painting, more context is given to you. more perspective starts to show.
Mm-hmm.
However, even if you have that context, there may be somebody else that says, oh, I see this thing here though. So even if they have the same context, their perspective will be different.
Yeah.
And I've done that with my art too, where I'm like, yeah, this person will be like, oh, I see this and this, and I would never have seen that without your journey and your perspective.
Yes.
Having awareness into my creation, I would never have known that.
That's a really good. That's a really good like indication of the lenses that we have, even when we're looking at each other.
That's why we put people on pedestals, or we remove them from their pedestals, because we think that we know better, we don't know better. It's more complicated than that, but that's like a general summary, right? Because we like, there's just context, and I think when we are angry at people or we're hurt, or it's just so much context, and like
I shouldn't be putting people up on pedestals or slamming them into the ground.
No, because we're just in physical bodies, and like mushrooms, think twice. Specifically, I've been like, bro, you see all the fucking perspectives you have and the knowledge you have right now? You could not function being human if you had all of these perspectives all the time.
Yeah.
You could not function. But here you go. You want knowledge? You fucking go. You came on this trip. Here you go, bitch. You're welcome. This is overwhelming for you, we know, because you don't have the body to hold it.
Yeah.
You're not in the reality to hold it. And that's okay. That's why you're here. And then... Sorry, I'm like rambling now. But like, that's the thing.
No, that makes complete sense.
Exactly.
Because then you can take a few steps back, work on the body to hold it, and then come back later.
Because you will eventually, like, there's a very specific memory, mushroom trip I have in my memory when I talk about that perspective. And that one was like 3 years ago. I think now I have a much different, like I could hold more. I still couldn't hold all of it. But I think I could a little bit more. But
I try the Arctic raspberry.
there still could, there was still
perspectives. Like some vitamin or something.
This one's really neat. I like this one the most.
It's interesting for me. Can I have a paper and a pen from somebody? It doesn't have to be yours, because I know this is like your new notebook or whatever.
No, this is what it's meant for. This will be something to look upon, and it's going
I'll draw on it for you.
Perfect.
Can I put these in the fridge?
Whatever, yeah, sure.
Hold on, let me pour a cup.
Silas drinking!
I am! It's very rare. But you know, actually, so in my notebook, I haven't actually written to the alcohol spirit very much. But something I've been preaching to everyone is about any drug you take, DMT, mushrooms, acid, anything. Coffee, chocolate, cacao.
Sure.
Yeah, like write to it. And I had written to it, actually the girl I was drawing was the alcohol spirit I saw, but I think it was actually this one specifically. So, she was this white being, and I was like, originally it was like, hey, like, I might have to just read from the book, but basically I was like, hey, like, I'm interacting with you. I would like to have like a very informative, a very like connected experience with you. I don't normally write like this, but I think I'd look at practice interacting with you.
Yes,
and I had
everything's tools.
Exactly. And the thing is, if you're just honest, if you tell people you don't know what the fuck you're doing, that entity, that human, that animal, it's going to be
it's
like
about the intention.
Exactly.
It's always about the intention.
Yes, and I think
I'm so glad that you did that.
It's 100% thing.
I did the same thing. I was like, hey, spirit. So like, I'm in a place right now where I'm not drinking very often. So like, can we work together here? Because we've decided to, drink to remember, don't drink to forget.
Yes.
It's like we got like one of these each. It's not a big deal.
Like, and even for us right now, like normal Ashley would have already had one down, and then like going to like
exactly.
Like, so like for me, it's like I'm so content just fucking having fun with you guys, and like
and,
like,
it's just so nice.
Like drinking to like let my anxiety down enough to like just feel fully okay to just do and say what I feel. But like I hope to be able to bring myself there sober one day. But like for now, it's like I just let the tools do what they do until I know better.
I feel that.
That's how it is. It's like everything is a tool. Everything that is exposed to us is a tool. So do we use it or do we abuse it? And I think alcohol is a tool, but it is addictive.
Well, the ultimate goal is to not need
anything
tools but your temple body.
Yes, that is the goal, but we're not there yet.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's
So,
okay. We have done
Comes
that.
from the breath.
But people feel that with
But
anything.
also we're interacting in a 3D world.
Yeah.
Where we have 3D tools that work on a metaphysical level. Like that's
Exactly.
something that we just need to acknowledge.
Yeah, and say, yep, that's what it is. I agree.
That's gonna trigger some people.
It's really
by the way.
refreshing. I think it's really refreshing to have like-minded individuals because it's like you can talk to so many people in like normal life and like you just know they're not getting it.
But they will. The seed is planted.
Yeah, and I've happy to plant seeds, but like I really love just talking to people that get it.
I'm gonna put a pizza in the oven.
Yeah. Pizza, pizza.
You like spinach?
I love spinach.
Spinach pizza. So these are fun, hey? So she's got the 12th house.
Yeah, Mike's like,
and
I'm
I've
gonna
got
get you
the-
these. I sent him a photo of it and I was like, this is my reading. He's like, this is so cool. I want to do one. Do
And
one
then-
for him.
Oh, she's
Or
not
do
done.
it-
She's
oh.
not done hers yet.
Okay. But we'll do one for him at Advent at some point because like,
Yeah.
I want to get a set. I'm gonna get a set, I think.
Mhm.
Because I can have bass in my car. Like,
Mhm. And they're actually like it's.
I have my
They're
roots
not
set.
new, but they're just trending now. Like they're just people are just starting to pick up on Astro Dice. And I'm just learning astrology, so.
Yeah, and it's so funny because like astrology is something I've been learning since I started my journey. Like that's kind of what inspired my journey, but I still don't know enough. Like
But this
I
is
know
the
enough about my
basics, like-
It's something you
rising, my
slowly
sun, my
ease
moon.
into,
And then
yeah.
you come out, it's like you said Pluto, and I was like transformative because I just like love Pluto. It's my favorite planet.
Yeah.
So I've looked into Pluto more
So
than
you
any
know
other
that.
planet.
Yeah,
But then
exactly.
Sam also highlighted Pluto for me because he's like Pluto gets
That's
missed.
so interesting.
Pluto gets like dismissed, but then it's actually
Bring
like
me
your.
pizza. Nadia's.
No, you just
Bring
bring
me pizza.
and you just
Bring
put
us
pizza.
pizza.
She just put pizza in the oven, dude. A Spanish
I
pizza for
literally-
us.
I literally just put a pizza in the oven.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah, and she just texted her that, and she was just texting me because tomorrow she needs help, and I was like, dude, I'll help you.
Aww.
She just texted me for all the things she needs, and I was
Didn't mean to caps lock that.
Caps lock your best life, dude.
Is she on the
I'm
stream?
biased,
or no?
though.
There's 4 people here.
Hello, friends!
Yeah, oh, I see. She was on the stream, that's why she was saying it.
Oh, that's dope.
That's why she said bring me pizza. Okay,
Oh.
got it. I
Like
was like, I thought
Nadia?
you at first like randomly was like, Nadia wanted pizza and
Camera.
text Selena, and she was making pizza. Nadia, you little rascafallion.
Love her.
Me too.
Oh yeah, there's other things
Yeah.
these days.
So Mercury will give you clarity on the aspect of that you're looking at.
Okay.
Oh, do you want me to find? Oh yeah, I said I would find the page.
Sure. I love that.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at these little eyeballs.
Not any of that.
Hold on. I want to show you my alcohol spirit lady. That was the second version or third version of her. She's kind of messy.
Oh,
This was the first one because I imagined her sitting in a cave. That's the second one. So she's like white, but like literally like the color white, and like you would use purples and pinks to paint her, kinda.
yeah.
And the cave was kind of purpley black with blues.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she's like a lot of pinks, mainly white though, like white, different versions of whites and blues and purples. But it makes sense because like when I started drinking the red one, like that one or whatever,
Yep.
it was different. She was like a chocolate lady, and then the beer one was like a weird mud creature, like the cider, the mud creature. I don't know, but yeah, it was interesting to have those visualizations, and I'm realizing each thing we ingest does have a spirit that you can either personify or interpret
Yep.
in a way that you can communicate with.
Ugh.
Yeah, give me your
For
eyeballs.
sure.
Give me my eyeballs.
There you go. So I would suggest you can either read the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just the 2 pages,
That was a lot, yeah.
or you can scan.
Oh, let's see. Go to the
It's
hand.
also not a whole lot, but
No.
you might get more out of scanning.
But I do like
Yeah, please do. You might pick up something that resonates with what you were saying, and then you can.
I think so too. What do you think? I don't remember all it.
Do you remember what the?
Yeah, I was sure you
house
just want to be the
was?
center of attention.
The 12th house was talking about the privacy of our inner world.
Yeah.
Stroking the
Sorry, I had no idea
I
what
was
you
like,
said.
oh, you just want to be the center of attention.
Always! Oh, there goes my hat.
Yeah.
Everybody, look at me. Please
Playful
don't.
joking.
Just look away.
Please
But
look
I feel
away.
like if I continue to do these, it's more about the people it's more about my guests.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, I feel that. Mercury, messenger of the gods. The energy of intelligence and how we think.
Also Hermes and Thoth.
Oh my fucking god, really? Hold on, can I write that down in my book real quick?
No.
No! Fuck you! Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Make sure I
Hermes.
spell the word properly.
Hermes. Thoth and Enoch. But I'm not sure how much you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're all the
Great.
same incarnation.
That's insane.
I love learning from you
Metatron
guys, by the
as
way.
well.
You fucking kidding?
Yes, that they're all the same incarnations.
I love learning from you guys.
I'm fucked up right now, bro.
Well, just like I was talking about the consciousness of God
Big
being
heavy.
being the
Yeah.
trunk of the tree and then
Yeah.
the branches.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It's the same aspect. It's the same energy that
Interesting.
incarnates over and over. Yeah. And then also incarnates in us. Like we
What
are
a responsibility!
right? Like you are an
Right.
aspect of Mercury and Thoth and Enoch, and that's probably right. And it's masculine. Same with me. I've got that too, and a lot of us do on the planet today. Hopefully more of us than not.
But you know what? It's very
Like the vomit.
Well, something that there's a perspective that I've been toiling with. If we can perceive it, we are of it,
Yeah.
and that's been
Well,
something I've
if
been
you
toiling
can perceive
with.
it, you can choose to attune the frequency of it.
I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like we
So
have.
it is a choice.
Yes, this is true.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel, well, at the same time, it's like, no matter what, even though it is a choice, like, we do, okay, so we have access to all of these colors all the time, but for example, like, I can only fill a now moment with one word. That sentence, I have to, like, carefully choose which word I use to make a sentence. Well, it's the same thing with colors, or with energies. We all have this, like, soup bowl of ingredients. It's just which ones do we choose to use? Which ones, which roles, which voices, which things, clothing, animals,
And destiny,
decorations do we choose to
does
have?
come into it because I mean we did choose this life beforehand, right? So
Yeah, literally.
following your intuition, you have a choice. But technically, it's like you should choose what your soul chose.
Well, it's
Yeah.
kind of like
Well, I chose this mission, and sometimes I'm like, why the fuck am I here?
I just want to
Like
go.
really?
Yeah, like, why did I do this? Like, why was Earth the thing I thought was the best option for me? There's millions of planets, and I chose Earth. Like, what the fuck?
Think of Earth as like the Harvard.
Yeah,
of
like, we
schools.
wanna...
I went to Earth.
and I succeeded!
I went to Earth.
That's so
I got
true.
the badge and everything, alright?
Yeah, you go home and you're like, it's university, it's like your master's. It's like, you go back to your home planet, you're like,
school. Yeah.
"Ah." That's so good, dude. I love that.
And they're like, no, actually, you still have 52 lives left before you conquered Earth. Calm down.
Yeah, you're like,
How
you
many
thought that was,
How
you
many
thought that
have
was
I
it?
conquered? 1,015?
Well, you thought that was it. This
Yeah,
time
yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna come in as a badger.
Because you were such a dick.
Yeah.
Okay, my thing with animal lives and plant lives though is like I have this thing where I feel like we're simultaneously living other like for example,
Yeah.
I think I'm many horses.
Yeah.
I think I'm many insects. I'm many cats right now,
Yeah.
and that makes me sad because it's like what the fuck. Anyway, it's a whole other ramble that I don't want to.
Yeah, no, we're in multiple places at once. And
Multidimensional, right?
Yeah.
So not even just on this
you
planet.
have
we're other
been that
multiple
rock
planets
and
and
you
universes.
are still that rock. You have been that
Exactly.
starving child and you are still that starving child.
Exactly. Well, because the thing is, like, when you have, like, the original source and you split off into pieces, right? It's the same thing. Like, you can have a disco ball that has all these different, like, little tiny squares. You can remove that square, but that square was still from that original disco ball. That was still from the original hole. And it'll take that hole with it when it's separate.
And is still.
Exactly.
It's what you're perceiving right now.
Exactly. It will still be part of that whole, even though it perceives itself to be, I'm just myself. It's like, are you though? You have so many ingredients you can choose from. You have so many roles you can play with. And each life, each time that you incarnate is is you like, okay, what role do I want to play right now? And it's weird because I feel like there's so many. It's like a Jenga tower of matrices that intersect with each other because you have, like, after doing DMT, I realized you're only a fraction of reality.
Mm-hmm.
You're only a fraction DMT.
Yeah.
You're not the reality. You are a fraction.
Mm-hmm.
So what other Jenga piece of reality, or others, actually others specifically is the word I should have used, is being opacity, like in an art program, like opacity layer, or like overlaid, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
20%, 3%, 80%, blah, blah, blah. You can have a bunch of these layers. Like in an art program, you can have 20 layers, 100 layers, 200 layers. You can have so many layers plopped on top of each other. It's like, so how many of these neutral, polarized perspectives are,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Are there? Yeah.
it's just a whole other rabbit hole.
It's a real thing.
Okay, so I'm gonna finally read this book.
No, I completely get what you're saying.
Yeah, cool.
And at the
Yeah.
same time, if your ego isn't in check, you do a DMT trip and you think you are the one and you are everything.
Right?
And it's like, yes, you are, but so is everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is the same as you.
And then you're like, okay, well, I'm in the 3D realm right now, so how do I integrate that into now? What about that?
Yeah.
Can I use?
Can I integrate and apply to my life
Exactly.
right now? Yeah.
That's something, especially as a, like, if you identify or resonate with a seeker energy, there's so many perspectives and information that you will accumulate. It's like, okay, this is all very interesting. I'm considering all of it. Some yes, no. Some are just like, oh, I don't know. Blah, 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 blah. Tipping my toe, whatever. How can I enter? One, what is the base values of what I want to integrate into the physical? When I'm interacting with my friends, what's the intention?
Yeah. Well, that's where intention going into those trips matters so much. Because then you can zero in on specific questions and specific things instead of just going in and being like, give me whatever spirit wants me to experience. And then it's like this chaotic sort of like...
Well, because the Jenga pieces, all the Jenga pieces are
exactly,
being accessed
exactly.
now.
And if you can remember in that trip to ask specific questions, then you'll get instant sort of like feedback in that space. If you can remember. That's why ayahuasca is so awesome, because it's 12 hours long or whatever. It's like
Really?
all night.
Have you done it before?
No, that's the next one. It's
Yeah,
coming.
ayahuasca's
It's coming.
coming too.
It's calling, and I'm
Me
shaking
too.
in my fucking boots.
Dude, honestly, I would really like to do, is it called peyote?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I want to do kambo. Actually, one of the reasons why I got into clay making is because of kambo. The frog, the hide.
Yeah.
I realized I'm still not ready because I haven't dug deep enough into it, but there's something about frogs. Anyway, the whole thing. I'm gonna read now. Oh my god, wait, hold on.
Hold up.
Hold on, friends.
He's a fan for you.
We have some things to do.
He's a little bit nervous.
He's a little bit nervous.
A little bit nervous.
He looks like he was incarnated to Earth, and he
Looks like
hates.
he's Jones and
He's nervous.
nervous.
I'm on Earth, friends.
Yeah.
Help me.
What the fuck's up, boys?
I love it. Can you sign it, please?
Man.
I just. Okay, write that. Not.
A, the lot symbol.
I love you so much. I want you to know that. So
My
much.
friend Michael might bring me weed. I have people on call everywhere I go.
That's beautiful.
He's like, oh no, that's not. I'm like, I'm out of weed, man. Drinking Coolers, like, I need weed. He's like, oh no, that's not ever good. Where are you at?
Where are you at?
He lives
sir?
like 5 minutes from here, not even.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So he's gonna probably come here.
Beautiful.
Well, to drop me off weed
Oh,
anyway.
that's terrifying. New friend. Right. Well, I'm gonna end it.
I might even let him in the house. Probably not. This is a sacred space.
What is, life is like, the world is sacred. Oh,
Yeah, Michael is actually, you guys would be very fascinated by him.
I already am.
He's got a lot going on in his realm.
Oh, fun.
He's a cool guy.
I heard giants, so I feel like
Yeah,
I
he
can go on
is.
with
Yes.
it. Immediately I was like, giants. I was
Me
like,
and
oh.
him are like Bonnie and Clyde in a weird way, but like I am that
Interesting.
troll energy and that he's that giant energy. It's like that
Interesting.
rascally play of energy like we have sometimes.
Yeah, word. Words are so bad. Okay, I'm gonna finally read this. Mercury, messenger of the gods. I need to stop drinking. I can feel it. Okay. Breathe silo.
You can burn some more Palo Santo if you want.
You know, when I was in the washroom, I was like, it'd be cool to burn some smelly stuff.
Yeah, I'll totally take care of that for you.
That would be beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so one more. Apparently, darting hither and thither. Is thither a word? I love this book. Bright Mercury brings us brilliant ideas, illuminating messages, and amazing connections. Under its influence, flashes of insight blaze along our brain's neural pathways, not neutral. Seeking and perhaps attaining true wisdom and understanding. The planet Mercury was identified by the Greeks with the god Hermes. Oh, that's great. Yeah, okay. The messenger of the god. Oh, he's also like, that makes sense because he's communication.
Yeah.
Subscribe. Fuck. Alright. The god of souls and the swift-footed deity of transitions, communication, and exchange. Mercury was the name the Romans gave to both god and planet. Oh, I should just skip that and go over here then?
Or don't, because you're also teaching.
I know, but it was weird because as soon as I read that, it was like, go to over here. And I was like, okay, I'll go back and forth.
Oh no, do what you want. Sorry.
No, it's super valid. But I was like, oh, that was weird. Should I follow that or should I not follow that?
Follow it.
Do you care if my friend Michael and Randall stop over for a doobie and to drop me off some weed?
No, the more the merrier. I trust whoever you're bringing here.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna like.
I mean, I'm intoxicated, so like, it's fine. What I should have said? I don't know.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, just so you know.
I feel left out. Also, weed is legal. Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, weed is legal, so it's fine. But it's just like, I just wanted to make sure that was good.
Yeah, no,
This is
thank
yours.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's all, friends.
That's all, folks.
That's all.
But just a little bit of weed.
Ancient Irish and Indian astrologers living thousands of miles apart use the word Buddha or Bhat to awaken, enlighten in Sanskrit for Mercury. This suggests that their craft came from a common Indo-European root. Earlier in Babylon, Mercury was called Bibu or Nabu, the proclaimer, the god of wisdom. His relationship of the dominant god, Marduk, was culturally entwined and even obscured, rather as the planet Mercury itself is so close to the sun for 3 periods each year that it cannot be seen. I love that because I'm a sun sign.
Yeah.
And the Mercury had come out during my role, so I really
Please do
enjoy
that.
that.
I love that.
Excuse me.
Your excuse.
Thanks for. Oh, that's so soda. Thank you, by the way. I really appreciate.
What's
it.
your address, Lena? I mean, don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud.
It's a party now, friend.
Yeah. Because we're on stream, it's probably best not to
Right?
say
Yeah.
For our ancestors, Mercury governed the second of our 7 ages. 7. That came out earlier. Childhood. This is the time when often reluctantly,
No one's
like
even interacting with us
shakes.
anymore.
Huh?
No one's interacting with us.
We'll
At the
interact
moment.
when it's ready. Like Shakespeare's
It's so funny. You're both like at the moment when they're ready. Like, back off.
I like us.
I like us too.
I like us.
Doesn't matter. It's gonna be
So
there
fuck
forever.
'em.
So
I'm actually not I'm sorry.
Don't fuck them.
I'll fuck with you. You just embraced my energy, I think, when you said that. Like, that was totally an Ashley. Like.
I mean, like, I have a bit to it, whatever. Okay, so.
The lives are not the only thing that matter. I mean, my last streams before they got deleted got like 87 fucking views.
Really? Wow.
You guys are too much.
They get the random.
I'm smoking by the door.
Fight me. Actually?
Yeah, I will fight you.
I lied, by the
You're
way.
literally my sister from every lifetime I think I've ever lived.
What did you say?
I think you're my sister from every lifetime I've ever lived.
I sure hope so.
You're looking at him just like, you little Rastafarian.
Okay,
Chaos.
just continue. I'll put that there for you.
Thanks. Okay, where was I? I love this. So, like Shakespeare's whining schoolboy creeping to school, we begin to acquire the knowledge and wisdom that can counterbalance our untamed energies. And I love that because like a whole entire interaction felt like an untamed energy. So that was really
counterbalance, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
And that's what I feel like the like Hermes, Thoth, Enoch, Metatron, all of this is an aspect of the divine masculine that counterbalances my chaotic mess.
Yeah, word.
Right?
Well, it's fun because you were saying that, it says spreading our wings. Both gods, Hermes and Mercury, wore winged shoes and enabled them to dart from place to place.
Yeah.
As the planet Mercury itself follows a winding path, the word mercurial derives from the quality of restlessness. So, for me, I view this one as
From the
action.
quality of restlessness?
Yes.
Okay.
So for me, I've always viewed communication as an action, which is why I'm thankful for my anxiety with communication. I used to hate it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I hate that I don't know how to move forward. And it still happens, but I realized when you choose not to communicate and when you communicate, it is an action. It is a movement. It is a massage. It is a pressure.
Yeah.
And I remember my third roommates were like, yeah, not everything needs to be communicated. And that's something I'm still integrating because I feel like everything needs to be communicated. So it's like, what the fuck do you mean not every? Because it's like subtle energies, right? And for me, I still haven't integrated that with a hole in the wall.
There's a lot that can be taken in before, like you might communicate something and be like, oh, but I didn't have that perspective and this perspective and I didn't observe long enough. And if I had, I would have communicated differently.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's interesting too because it's like, I don't know, I just really love that Mercury came out here because in the concept of, I don't think we often view communication as action. Yes, we can spend a lot of time talking about theory. We can spend a lot of time talking about perspectives. And some people may see
communicating from the feminine or masculine too.
Yes, and we may seem like, oh, maybe I'm just communicating and I'm not moving forward. But those are still plant seeds being planted and watered and nurtured. And each plant has a different need. The same way that all three of us have slightly different needs. We resonate because we have similar needs. But there's still going to be aspects of us that make us a different species of plant. That's, if that wasn't a thing, we wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that just makes sense. Like, the universe, like, I wouldn't make the same character 3 times. It's weird.
Want to feel, the three of us anyway, want to feel seen and heard and accepted and appreciated in the same way that we see and hear and appreciate and accept other people.
Exactly. Because it's like, oh, I'm a planet. I'm a whole fucking planet. See me. Because I see you. I see you, little ant, even though I'm fucking Mars. I'm a planet, and I see you on a different other planet. See me. But it's weird because it's like, there's a lot of integration that happens with that. And, you know what I mean?
And a lot of perspective before they can see you.
Exactly. Because it's like, okay, like, now you get to a point where you don't care if they see you, but you still want to see that ant, you still want to see that lizard, you still want to see that creature on those other planets in those other universes. And eventually, because of that, you have created the link, you've created the thread, you've created the cord that has initiated that link. So even if you, in this lifetime, you never interact.
12. Sorry, I just wanted to say that.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
What the? I was listening to a bigger card that had like numbers. It was 333.
Oh, now it's 1, 2, 1, 3.
12, 12. Oh, is it? That's beautiful. Thank you for that.
12 to me is 1 foot in front of the other.
Yeah, totally.
Like 1, 2, 1, 2,
1, 2, 1, 2. Right, left, right, left, 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 right, left.
Yeah, just keep going.
Well, it's 1, 2, 3. And also makes like, because 1 plus 2 equals 3, which is like you keep going, you'll hit that creative period where you can have a breather, and you'll feel relaxed and safe enough to create. Because you're like, oh, that's fucking. For example, actually, you just finished painting your house. What the fuck? You just listed your house. That's amazing. And now you can be like,
Now I'm just like, holy fuck, what's happening now?
I can just do whatever.
Yeah,
you
what's
know?
happening now? Though,
Yeah. Exactly. That's why I'm like 3, because 1, 2 is kind of like 1 is like, so 0 for me is like seed energy. And it's like fuck. 1 is like, oh, I should do something with that thought. 2 is like, do
The
some
one
shit.
is like bringing 0 to me is like the like you said, the seed, but like the passive scanning, and 1 is like the what are we gonna do about what we saw.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's like, oh, you know, I can plant this seed, but am I gonna put water on it? Is there sunlight for it? There are some needs that need to water this. It doesn't have to be very intake, like very huge, but there has to be some small nurturing. 1. We're talking about 1 or 0. Just now, we were talking about both. Okay. 2 is talking about like, oh, okay, the shoot has started. I've nurtured enough for it to start. Something a friend said, and I've never heard again, and never heard before, was most plants, no matter what it is, most, not all, when they shoot out of the ground, they have these two leaves.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
Yeah.
And number 2. 2 sometimes be viewed as the partnership, you know, relationships. But for me, it's like that first initial, like, I'm here. I have 2 limbs. I have 2 hands. 1 is receiving. 1 is giving.
Left brain, right brain.
Exactly. Duality.
Duality, yeah.
Yeah. 3 is like, I want to play with this duality.
Yeah, 3 is the creation.
I want to dance. I want to see what I can make. And then 4 is like, hey, so what you made? Can I hold a house?
Yeah.
Can people walk in it? Are they
Yeah.
gonna fall through the
The
stairs?
foundation.
Exactly. 5 is like, how can we change that? Do you need to change my foundation? Do you need to start again?
Let's check this out. Let's check this
Exactly. What aspects of the house do you want to shift?
I'm really glad that you mentioned that because I have this extra dice.
Really?
That's based on that I added to add the numerological, and it's a 6, so I figured you should roll it twice.
Oh, interesting. Yours all 3s?
Yeah, 2 3s.
What the fuck? 3s, okay, 3s. This is probably a biased perception, but 3 is my favorite number. Mainly because it goes 3, 6, 9, but also because it's my life path 3, because it's triangle. For me, that's the most foundational. Reminds me of the Holy Trinity. There's different kinds of Holy Trinities, but my favorite is, hello? Where'd you go? Holy Trinity? Hello? Question?
The child? Or
Yeah, okay, it was
Mother,
the
Maiden,
child,
Throne?
the adult, and there's the divine child.
Okay.
That's the Trinity I like to subscribe to,
Yeah.
because it comes to, like, we talk about ourselves being naive. We feel naive. That child that trusts their parents, that trusts the world,
Yeah.
right? And then you have the adult that becomes jaded, that becomes like, oh, I need to get a job, oh, fuck this person, blah, 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 blah. Then you have the divine child that integrates both of those. So you have the naivety
Right.
of the, like, I'm trusting you, but you have the adultness of, like, I'm not trusting you.
Right.
And then
Then
you bring
rather
that.
than going to like the crone, you go back to like the wise child, basically.
Exactly. You integrate all three of them into
I
one.
like that.
Yeah, I've always really resonated with that because it's like, you know, I was super trusting as a child.
Yep.
Just having this innocence of God, because there's many different planets, different energies that we have. That aspect, just this trusting, loving nature.
Mm-hmm.
Then, when you're on different planets and different energies, you cannot trust everyone the way you thought you could because you weren't from here. So you don't understand that you couldn't trust people the way you were used to trusting. And then you get jaded because you were this is what you were used to being suspicious. This is the world you're in now. And that's okay because when you get to the divine child, you integrate both. You realize the perspectives of the adult, and you integrate the perspective of the child. You start to understand both of them, rather than being in polarity of the child or polarity of the adult. Now you have both of them. You have collected. You are a collector.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hi, welcome back.
My tummy's been like, you don't like anyone.
Aww. Hi, tummy.
Big poops. Massive.
Massive.
So yeah, we'll see how that feels now.
Oh,
That's
perfect.
okay. My mirror says all of you is welcome here, including your shit.
I saw that and I was like, "Aw, this is wholesome." Oh, also, I realized I never finished reading the Sacred Rebels book, and I'm gonna.
Classic.
I'm gonna finish
Not
reading.
even surprised.
I know. Okay. I think I'm almost done now. Wait, this isn't even the same page. All right.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
Do you
remember
remember
Greek
what
style.
you're doing? Do you
What?
remember what you're resonating with 12th house?
So the 12th house was inner privacy, and that was inner worlds. It was keeping to ourselves, but also letting people in. I was just reading Mercury, and that's communication and connections. I had moved
And how we think.
Pardon?
How we think as well.
How we think, yeah. I'm still gonna read more Mercury, but I think I feel finished. Called to read the What You Want Wants You. I'm almost done with that, so. I'm gonna read a bit back of what I've already read. So, if anybody feels called to take a breath, I recommend it. Take a breather, motherfuckers. So, not the substitutions and make-dos, but what would truly bring a sense of passionate, playful purpose and fulfillment to your life. You might not know anything more than, I want to sing, I want to write, I want to help animals, or I want to paint. Start with what you know and hold it in your heart as you do the healing process below. If you genuinely do not know what your heart wants, you will very much enjoy the process of exploring your desires by making gentle and persistent inquiries of yourself. Inner worlds. And we were talking about the 12th house, so it talks about your inner worlds and inquiring about yourself. And also allowing yourself to witness yourself. Allowing yourself to like, oh, I wrote this thing, let me read it 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just writing it and never looking at it again. So start with what you know. Hold it in your heart as you do the healing process below. Thank you so much for making pizza. What the fuck? If you genuinely do not know what your heart wants, you will very much enjoy the process of exploring your desires by making gentle and persistent inquiries of yourself. That reminds me of like playing a sandbox. You don't know what you're gonna make. You have all these tools. You're just gonna fuck with what you want. Whether you make out of sticks or your fingers, or you're using tools you have, you're just gonna fuck around. You know, make mud pies if you're in Canada. I don't know. Ask yourself, what it is that truly moves you. Give this matter consistent attention. But no guilt if you can't do it, because I understand, but like, plant the seed, you know? Without forcing a response. Your answers may come in a sudden flood or slowly over time. As you get to know your genuine desires and give yourself permission to feel and receive them, a powerful sequence is set in motion.
Oh, so you're going back to your reading.
Yes.
Nice.
From the depths of the universe, your desire hurtles its way towards you as the perfect manifestation. It's interesting because this talks, like, earlier it talked about, like...
Oh my god.
I forget the words. I know, I related it earlier. I'm sure it'll come again. It is coming to you even now. Manifesting, itself as the best situation or relationship or circumstances to bring fulfillment to your heart, radiance to your life path, and a creative awakening. So don't give up. Keep dreaming of your fulfillment. Don't imagine it as always awaiting you in some distant future. Instead, play with what it will feel like to be so fulfilled right now. This is out of script. Like, what you're looking for is already with you. What you're looking for, what you're trying to find by adventuring or changing or transitioning is already with you. But you already know that. So don't forget that as you move forward.
Yeah.
Keep that with you so you can share that.
Yeah.
Keep that with you so when you're moving around, it's
Yeah.
part of you. Yeah, shimming that. Because it's like, oh, I'm looking for this thing. No,
No, you're
imagine. Hi, everyone. So as you said, hi, everyone. That part of you, those fractals of you are radiating. Source is here. Universe is here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We are source. We are universe.
Exactly. So when you're sharing, it's coming off of you too.
Yeah.
Because you already understand that no matter what you experience, you're whole already, and you don't need shit. You don't need anything
No,
else.
you're just choosing what to play with.
Yeah, you're in the sandbox.
Yeah.
Maybe you're on a planet. My
You're
comic
in the
book is
sandbox.
about being in a planet, and like this little girl is just like, I'm gonna make some creatures.
That's
I'm gonna make
amazing.
some planets, some trees. I don't know. That's what an artist is. Whether you're a dancer, whether you're a writer, whether you are, I'm forgetting something, a painter. There's a whole bunch of shit I'm forgetting for some reason. But like a whole bunch of other shit. When you're making stuff, you could be an accountant. Numbers are personality. Numbers are consciousness. So anything you are interacting with, even like trades, they're like, oh, I just build houses. I'm not an artist.
Oh my god.
Excuse the fuck me? You just made a
Excuse the fuck
sculpture, a functional sculpture someone can live in? And
Yeah.
you're gonna tell me you're not an
Years.
artist? Go fuck yourself. On that point. Honestly, it's like, I can live in what you just created. What the fuck? What do you mean not an artist? Go fuck yourself. Sorry, that was very aggressive. Like,
You're allowed to be.
I feel like most of the people that are building houses will appreciate the aggressiveness.
yeah, like, you know, like, you could be planting gardens. Like, I had a friend be like, oh, I just plant plants. I don't know.
Oh no, arranging a garden is...
It's insane. There's thought, there's strategy, there's creation. It's like, oh, am I ready to have a baby? That's the same thing. And do I have the rooms for this baby? Do I have the space for this garden? What kind of colors? What kind of what kind of ingredients will my consciousness provide this child's creation?
So
Will I be able to provide for it in this way? It's the same thing for a garden, for a house, for whatever you're creating, whether it's a live stream or a painting or a sculpture or a video game or a carpet. I don't know. Anything you make, like it's that's the thing. Like, anyway, I'm fucking going off.
No, that's alright.
So, as you get to know your genuine desires and give yourself permission to feel and receive them, we talked about receiving earlier, 26, I think. A powerful sequence is set in motion. Communication is motion. From the depths of the universe, your desire hurtles its way towards you as a perfect manifestation. It is coming to you even now. What you want wants you. Manifesting itself is the best situation or relationship or circumstances to bring fulfillment to your heart, radiance to your life path, and a creative awakening. So don't give up. Keep dreaming of your fulfillment, but don't imagine it as always awaiting you in some distant future. Instead, play with what it will feel like to feel so fulfilled.
Yeah, what it
Right?
would be like, yeah.
No. You know, this is what we were talking. Okay, when she came to pick me up, I had a phone call about this. And my friend had a dream about me. And I was like, what dream about me? I want to know. What the fuck? And he had a dream that he was offered everything. And he was like, yeah, I want everything. Why not? Well, I uppercutted him in the dream.
Really?
Yeah, I did. And I was like, dude, that was a test. You failed. You weren't supposed to say everything. But now he's always going to think about that. Because when he is offered everything, he's going to be like, I have
What's the
everything
catch?
I need. Yeah, exactly. It's like you always have what you're looking for.
Yep.
I remember I went to this, like, I don't even know what to call it, like a dance, breathing ceremony thing, I don't know, at like in Edmonton. I was like a few hours, and I was still new to a lot of stuff. And we learned, I think it's called dragon breath, or dragon breathing, something like that. Yeah, and it's the only time I've ever done it, which I'm like, I would like to do it alone, but I did it as a group, and we danced after, and like I'd never done that. It was fucking beautiful. And there was this beautiful feminine energy. She was just so free. She reminds me of me now, but even further. Like, I was just like, wow, like, thank you for existing. I told her that. She's like, dude, it's in you. And I've always thought about her because I was like, I part of me resonates so deeply with what you said, but I know part of me doesn't get it.
Right.
You know?
Yet.
Exactly. But it's okay, I don't get it. I know I will.
Yeah.
But it frustrates me, all these different things.
Because we're just like, we just want to know.
Exactly. And it's like, well, if it's so fucking easy. Well, it's not. Because it takes time to get to that point and acceptance of those things.
It takes surrender.
That's the thing, like, but surrendering is patience. Surrendering is like boundaries, where like the original, like, okay, I surrender. Okay, but you realize just like saying no or saying yes means you have to repeatedly say no. Repeatedly say yes to this thing.
Yeah, but that's
Over
not
and
what
over and
surrender
over again.
is. Surrender isn't no or yes.
Well, no, but I mean, like, for me, that's the way that I can resonate with it, because it's the concept of, like, constantly, for me, it's like, for example, if I hear someone say, you should surrender, I'm like, okay, I surrender. Okay, but do you actually? So if you're continually moving forward, maybe 10 minutes later, you do something, or you think something that necessarily isn't surrender. But in that moment 10 minutes ago, you did surrender.
Yeah. I mean, that's the catch.
Exactly.
That's the catch 22.
It's continuously surrender.
Yeah.
And what that
getting
means
back to yourself.
Yeah.
Getting back to surrender.
And it's interesting because surrendering, I feel like, means different things to different people, and I haven't quite figured out what that means to myself, which is an interesting concept. Because you liked, I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe
I was trying to explain this this concept of surrender with regard to chaos and like catching the wave of flow. And I was vaping, so I mean, I just vape, but no, I can't because my vape's on my hair.
This smells really nice.
So you imagine trying to to get in there, you have to go with what already is. Right? It's the
Interesting.
same idea as like catching a wave. You have to go with what already is. You have to surrender to what already is happening in order to even be able to analyze. Otherwise, you're controlling. You're trying to control what's happening rather than surrendering to what's happening. And then only once you're in there can you decide, like, from a microcosmic scale, I guess, what you actually can control, which is only you.
There was an artist that... Fuck, it just disappeared. No, it was so cool, it was so good. It was like, I was gonna use that memory as a... Yeah, I feel what you just said. here's the thing. But it's gone now.
That's okay.
Fuck. This is a really good Spanish pizza.
I added pesto.
Can you repeat what you said? If you remember it?
About catching the wave,
And
the surrender.
Yeah.
The surrender is about, like, surrender and flow are very closely, like, they're mutually inclusive. So you have to, like, you can't just, if you're surfing, you can't just go up and be like, hey, wave, can you be smaller? Can you be bigger? Can you go off in this direction? Hey, wind, can you do this? No, you have to integrate yourself into what's already happening. Right?
Yeah,
So you have to let go and accept, you know, find acceptance to what's already happening. And then in that moment, I mean, technically,
There's an artist that mentioned this where it's like, she's like, she uses everything in already, like nature, or using things that are already there. Garbage. Using things that already exist, and then making something out of it. That's what I was trying to remember. So
that's really good.
And also, one of my, recently, the vultures came up again. The vulture is one of my favorite creatures. I love a tiger. I love most animals. But the vulture is like a weird spirit creature for me. Because the same concept of like, oh, we use a good part of the buffalo. The vulture eats most of a dead animal. It doesn't waste much, if anything at all. So it's like, if there's something dead or what have you, like it's not going to waste it. It's going to eat most of it. It's going to use what's there and then make what it wants to, or like kind of go with the flow what's already there. So like what you said with that, because like in addition to this, that's nice. I like that. This pizza is so nice and have milk.
That pesto's really good.
Honestly.
Yep. I dig it.
Who's this guy?
We don't know yet. He's just coming home.
We don't know yet.
He's got this guy.
Who's got this guy?
No, we don't know. He's kind of kicking this thing out. We don't know why. But it's behind him, which is interesting. I don't know. I never really know what the heck's going on until it's done. I'm like, okay, I can see.
The past says hello.
Yeah, right.
And now we say goodbye.
On that
Because then we
note,
have to go home.
on that note, I think I'm gonna shut down the stream.
Mike's on there, he said.
Oh, is he?
Hi, Mike.
Yeah, there's 4 people on there. That's the most we've had all night, I think.
Oh, really?
Wow. Hi, everyone. Bye, everyone.
4 viewers.
Well, no one's talking to us, so it's like, why are they privy to our conversations if they're
I
not
am one.
putting it in?
I'm one viewer, maybe.
I like.
Mine's 4.
Well, for me, I'm used to just saying a lot and people just taking
Who's
it
there,
in.
everyone? Come say hi to us.
I'm not used to people like just having discussions.
If you're on the
with
stream,
me.
just say like, holla at your boy, what up, gangsta, let us know where you're from, or you know, whatever. I don't know what you're supposed to say on these things. Streaming, I do know, I've streamed a lot. Michael, say something to us, please. We're gonna end our stream and you're gonna be sad.
Michael.
You can't see my face. Michael.
Oh,
You get that when I'm like telling him what to do?
Michael. Michael.
Michael!
Michael.
Say something. Michael.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Oh, he says he can't answer. He doesn't have a Twitch account. He's just watching.
One, 2, 3, 6.
He
12,
said, "What's that?" He says, "What's that Spanish pizza you're eating?"
It's fucking
It's
delicious.
the restaurante thin crust, I think.
Yeah, and then it's then added.
And then I
pesto.
added pesto on top. Pesto best.
Yum.
What do you guys think? Should I shut her down?
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Love you.
Love you all.
Farewell.
Wait, I'm gonna be like. Thank you.
I'll see you.
Bye.
Thank you.